Okay, welcome back to the channel. What we've been going over the last couple weeks is the Sermon on the Mount, specifically the beatitudes in this sermon. And what this is Jesus laying the foundation of how he wants kingdom people to live, to show us who we are, to expose our hearts, and to just teach people how to live within his kingdom of God. In this passage, this is the type of people that Jesus is looking for to be in his kingdom. For the disciples, it was so opposite of what they were thinking. For their whole lives, they had read in the prophecies about the Messiah and how he was supposed to be this conquering Messiah who was supposed to come rescue them from the grips of the Romans who had been oppressing them for hundreds of years. And for them to hear this lesson about, actually, I want you to be kind. Actually, I want you to forgive. Actually, I want you to take persecution. I want you to take the oppression. And I just want you to live and lean on me. This was so totally opposite, so upside down of what the disciples were expecting. This right here is the passage. When you see Jesus' word throughout the whole New Testament, you can compare it to the beatitudes and the Sermon on the Mount, and everything that he did lined up with it, because that is who he was. When he went out and he did miracles, he helped people, he showed mercy, he showed grace to people. He was exhibiting who we are in these beatitudes in the Sermon on the Mount. I would suggest that you study this to learn more about the character of Jesus and who Jesus was, right? To get to the heart of things, not just about what we do. Because what we do, it depends on our heart. How our heart is, what our heart is like will show what our actions will be. But as we go through the rest of these beatitudes, I want you to look at it and see, is your heart exhibiting these qualities that Jesus is wanting out of kingdom people? And I know some of these things sounds corny, but this is what gives power to the kingdom. And we'll talk about the power of the kingdom and how to access the power as we get into later videos. But if we can't get this part down, accessing the benefits of the kingdom of God, accessing the power of the kingdom of God, it'll do us no good, because why would God give us the power and why would he give us access to the kingdom if our hearts aren't right? So this leads us into Matthew chapter 5, verse 6, where Jesus said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness." Now, I won't go too deep into what righteousness is, but in order for us to understand what Jesus is saying here in this verse, we all have to understand that there is no one that is good. We have to understand that nobody on earth is righteous before God. Like, we have to see that we are all evil, wicked people. Like, no one does good. Like, there is no good within us. And I think in today's society, we all feel that we mean well and that, we're good people and that we're trying. We might mess up, but overall we're good people. In God's eyes, that doesn't mean anything. God does not care what you do and the good that you do and that you think that you're a good person. This is how it was when I was growing up. I thought that I was a good person. Like, I didn't do anybody wrong. I respected people. Somebody needed a ride, I would give them a ride. If someone needed food or a place to stay, like, my house was always open as a kid. And I thought, I was a good person, but I was so wrong. We cannot get it until we understand that we are not good people. The only way that you have righteousness is through Jesus. Like, he's the only way that you are even looked at as good by God. And he's not looking at us, he's looking at Jesus interceding for us and taking the place for us. And because of that, God sees us as perfect. And he doesn't see us as good because of what we've done. It is because of what Jesus has done. And to expound on this a little bit more, in Isaiah it says, "Your righteous acts are like filthy rags." Now imagine a snot rag that you blow your nose in and all your boogers and mucus is in that rag. That is what God is saying that our righteous acts are like. Filthy rags, worthless, don't want it. It's trash to God. You need to stop saying that we are good people and that we do good things. That's why society is confused on doing good versus our self-righteousness versus the righteousness and the standards that God sees. And even Paul says in Romans, there is no one that is righteous. Not one person is righteous. So we need to do a self-check and look at ourselves and realize, okay, well, you might have did help that person, or you might be a kind person to somebody. But if you're not doing that through Jesus, to God, it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Continuing in verse 7, it says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." We, and I'm including myself in this, we as a people, we like to put a load on people or get back at people or try to make people feel our pain. It's just human nature. If somebody does us wrong, we want to get them back. Like, we feel they should feel every single thing that we felt. You cuss me out, I'm going to cuss you out. And actually, I'm going to cuss you out 10 times worse than what you cuss me out, because I really want you to feel it. This is one of the deep issues in society. A lot of things that goes on in society, the violence, the hate, the crime, all of this is because we don't want to show mercy to each other. But the good thing is that Jesus did experience our pain and our hurt and forgave us for the pain and the hurt that we caused other people. And I know we can get that feeling like we've done nothing to nobody else and that it's everyone else that is causing us the pain. And our actions are just pure and flawless, never at fault. But the principle that I think that we can get out of this is that you show mercy to other people, then mercy will be shown to you. If you don't show mercy to other people, you might end up finding yourself in that same exact situation that another person was in, who you had the chance to show mercy to, but you decided not to. And then you find yourself in that same position and mercy isn't shown to you. Show mercy to other people and mercy will be shown to you, and that will be reflected in the world. When you do all these things, you will be pure in heart. And I have to check my heart all the time, especially with this YouTube stuff. I have to check my intentions. Am I doing this to spread Christ? Am I doing this to spread his kingdom so that people will know how to live in his kingdom and know how to access his kingdom and not just live here on earth and wait till you get to heaven, but to realize that you don't have to wait to get to heaven. God is wanting heaven to come down to you like right now. He wants you to experience all that heaven has to offer. And I want people to get that and to experience that. But I have to check my heart and make sure that I'm not doing this for the views and make sure that I'm not doing this for the subscriptions, but for the kingdom. That's the most important thing. So the beatitudes all summed up is just the conditions of our hearts. So next week, we're going to get into the law. I know a lot of people wonder, like, why do I have to follow God's laws? So I'm excited to talk about that next week. And to my kings and queens, I invite you to the kingdom. Till next time.